South Africa is watching closely as a public clash unfolds between businessman Calvin Mojalefa Mandlakapheli Mathibeli and KwaZulu-Natal's top cop, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Mathibeli has made serious allegations, including claims of intimidation and assassination attempts, but the police have strongly denied these accusations. Tonight, we break down what was said, what is confirmed, what is denied, and what this could mean for law enforcement credibility in South Africa. Now, let us look at who is Calvin Mathibeli. Calvin Mathibeli is a KwaZulu businessman linked to private security operations. Recently, he has taken to social media and national platforms to accuse General Mkhwanazi of criminal conduct. This is part of Mathibeli's claims that he is being targeted and that police actions against his business are part of a broader intimidation campaign, that there are internal power struggles within law enforcement structures. These claims are extremely serious, but at this stage, they remain allegations. The South African Police Service has firmly denied the allegations. Official responses describe them as baseless, malicious, without factual foundations, and that the raid was conducted by national structures, not necessarily directed personally by the Provincial Commissioner. This controversy comes out at a sensitive time. As South African, we are already dealing with deep questions about policing accountability and political interference, particularly amid proceedings at the Madlanga Commission. Public trust in law enforcement is fragile. Allegations of this magnitude naturally intensify public concern. But here's the critical point. We need to remember that allegations are not proof, denials are not verdicts, but only the due legal process determines guilt. This story is bigger than two individuals. It touches on accountability of senior police officials, the credibility of private security businesses, the power of social media allegations, and public trust in institutions. In a constitutional democracy, both freedom of speech and the presumption of innocence must be protected. South Africa, let's talk. Do you believe there should be an independent investigation into these allegations? Now, let's watch the interview of Calvin Mathibeli, interviewed by Newzroom. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.
19th of December.
Well, at that moment, they didn't share the warrant of arrest, just show my wife. But it happened that later on, the warrant of arrest copy got in my hand. The warrant of, well, they send it to a police in Albertine again to go and look for me in my Joburg office after they were told that I'm in Joburg. That's how I managed to get a copy. Okay. However, the warrant of arrest that is J165. J165 meaning that I was arrested for fraud in 2024. I failed to appear in court. There was a court hearing in December, 8 December 2025. But here's a strange thing. What is written, there's a case number written there. Yeah. There's a case which then speaks about SARS, that I violated some tax law, which I don't know about, for that matter. Okay. And then when we got that warrant of arrest, we didn't verify with the case number written there. The case number is a different case. The suspect was arrested, is someone else. Literally, I've got nothing to do with what they were doing. Even that case, for that matter, it's a fraudulent. And the case is about someone who happened to steal money from someone's account, 2 million rand, 2.4 is an Asian guy that I don't even know, for that matter. Yet, on the other side, when we that details we found out when we were verifying with the courts and the police stations as well, to say, what is it that is going on? On the other hand, these guys that came to my house, we were carrying this, carrying this warrant of arrest. But what they say is that they were operating with DPCI. Then you ask yourself, in actual fact, do you know that myself being an investigator, being in private security space, we know that certain cases belong to DPCI, while others belong to different units. Yes. You ask yourself, what does PKTT have to do with a fraud? That's one thing that you'll have asked yourself. How come to an extent that they were pointing my houses, because they were taking post, pointing my house with firearms when they get at my house where my sister was? Before they reached to, the video that everyone has seen is a video from the office. They actually started at my other family house where they couldn't find me with fraudulent warrant of arrest. We've reached out to the court. The court has confirmed that indeed the warrant of arrest is fraudulent.
Which court is this?
It's Germiston Court. The Germiston Magistrate Court. They confirm. We've reached out to DPCI. DPCI confirmed that they have never given any instruction to PKTT or the Provincial Commissioner to go and do conduct that raid. So it was unlawful, bogus operation under instruction of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
So you've mentioned two things here. You've mentioned a reliable source calling you 10 minutes before these officers arrived at your family residence, yes, where your sister is currently staying. And you're saying that this person warned you to leave because you were going to be assassinated. You are going to be assassinated. Yes. Then you speak about this fraudulent warrant of arrest. Yes. What do you think the motive is here? Okay,
this is what has been happening, Zanda. I've been harassed by police in KZN. I've been bullied for a number of years, and I've been silent.
Why?
Okay, one, you know, there are people. I think, let me say this to you. If you remember very well, on the July 6th, when General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi was addressing the public, he mentioned that he is working with private security sector.
Yes.
He mentioned that. It's his word. I'm not lying. Now, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is working with those people. He's captured by private security sector who are our competitors. As a result, it's been going on for years. I've got a lawsuit currently of 15 million rand.
Against?
Against Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, SAPS as a whole, but he's one of the respondents. It's a case that dating as back as 2023. Like I said, that they, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi give this people or his people to come and seize all my weapons.
This is in 2023?
2023 November. As he gave them instruction to come and seize all my weapons, we defied that because it was an unlawful act to say, okay, give us a court order or a reason to seize my firearm. They never provided a reason. Because we know that you guys, because we wrote in letter to say that we know that you guys we are being targeted because of projects we are doing that certain security service provider wanted. And after that...
And they're being used by the police commissioner.
Yes, we wrote that. Minister Pegicele got our letter. Former minister. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi got our letters. National Commissioner, none of them responded to my lawyers. But in fact, they backed off. That's what they've always been doing. They backed off. But after that, we received a letter from...
So they never got to seize those weapons?
They never got to, because it was unlawful. We confronted them about their rogue operation. They backed off. Then, on the 14th of November, the legal team received a letter from their legal department within substance KZN, who will have said that whatever that was seized, those other firearms and many other things will be given back, and we must communicate with Brigadier Mbele for arrangements. We tried, I couldn't get a hold of him. We've been calling him, he was dodging us. Then he said that they took firearms for ballistics.
Is this during the routine inspection?
No, it was after, somewhere in November, after that routine inspection or whatever that happened. Even it was after the attempt of wanting to unlawfully take our firearms.
So then they came back with a lawful warrant of...
No, it was not a warrant. It was a letter saying that the firearms taken will be released. We must now contact Brigadier Mbele, who is a point of contact to give or for collection of the firearms. Now we contact him, he's running away from us. I've got a couple of SMSs that I'll share with you. I share my frustration and why they are doing and why it's unlawful, how I've been targeted for a number of years. Then he kept on running away from us about this firearm. But here's the interesting part, Zander, is that in December 2023, my company procures 100 firearms. We do applications. As a company, we are growing every day, so we need this firearm for operations. We do applications. The application went through KZN, then reaches to CFR in Pretoria, where they have been processed, captured, and then we can get a license.
Yes.
SAPS in KZN lies. Write a letter to CFR to instruct CFR to stop registering my firearms. I've got that letter.
And the basis?
They lie. They say we've got cases, which is a lie, pure lie. So this thing of creating cases against me is not new. It's old. Then I've got a copy of that letter in my possession. Then CFR applied their independent mind within the framework of the legal framework, and they refused to the unlawful instruction because they know that it has a legal and a civil claim possibilities on it. They refused. I got my firearms registered. I got them. I got to collect them in 2024. And then they were, but it tells you.
But those old firearms, did you ever get them back? Do we know what is the status of those firearms?
In fact, Brigadier Mbele confirmed that my firearms were sent to ballistics. They were cleared by ballistics. They're supposed to have been given to me. Then from there was not taking my calls. That is why we then sued the state a loss of income of 15 million rand. The lawsuit of 15 million. It comes from there. So
you are claiming that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the KZN Police Commissioner, is doing the bidding for private security firms that are your competitors in the province, which is why you are saying you have a target on your back. Am I understanding you correctly?
Not only that, including very notorious taxi people. He doesn't work mainly for these private security sectors. He's working with taxi people that have been targeting me.
Who are those people?
Well, for now, we didn't want to mention people's name, but there are people whom have been bullying me as well, myself as well. The same people. They've tried. There are a lot of hits that have been put on myself. I can count a number of those, whereby one of the most recent one, which was plotted against me, was for me to be assassinated there was assassination planned on the 15th of May 2024 by the same people.
Why are you, I mean, this competition, what is at stake here?
In fact, they are bully. I must tell you that the same way that Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is a bully, they are bully.
Why do you say Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is a bully?
He's a bully.
Many would say, your timing is quite convenient. Maybe you've been sent to try and change the narrative against Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. What would you say to that?
I've been saying for a number of years, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is a bully who at some point will even want to tell who he must marry, probably. Because the problem is here. My problem sometimes becomes my clients that I'm protecting. I've got a couple of clients that are the victim of the policing in KZN. That happened Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is able to issue an instruction to kill people. Some of their operation, they even secure mortuaries before they go and do an operation because they know that what happened is that they are planning to go and kill.
You outlined several things. You've spoken about how Mkhwanazi is hot-spotted. In other words, he's doing the bidding on behalf of several business interests and those in the private security industry. But I'm very interested in knowing perhaps the details of what you say is the political killings task team in many ways becoming a weapon that is being used by the top cop in KwaZulu-Natal.
Look, let me be straight to you, Zanda. PKTT has now become a hit squad that is recruited by, or that has been used, rather, weaponized by people's opponents or business people in particular. Of course, on the instruction of their boss, the men who control them, who give instruction to them.
Who is that man being?
Is the commissioner. One of my clients, like I'm saying to you, one of my clients, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi called one of my clients, so it was somewhere in June this year. He called one of my clients.
Last year.
Yes, sorry, last year. He called one of my clients to the meeting, the same client that was arrested there. And when he went to the court...
Would this not happen to also be another taxi boss that is in KZN?
Yes, he called a meeting through Santaco that my boss, this client of mine must go and meet him at 12 o'clock. And he left early for the meeting. As he left early, 11:30, PKTT concealed their face. They get into the house, they point firearm to the family. They were making his security officers to lie on the floor, pointing firearms, harassing the family of this man. Then they got away with it. Was there such warrant for that operation? There was nothing. And when you confronted him during their meeting to say, there is this operation, what did he say to him? That happened. I mean, he said there's this operation that just happened now. As
this
I'm coming
meeting
to
was called by who? Who's this meeting between?
Meeting was called by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
With your client?
With my client, and also the owners of the Dolphin Coast.
Owners.
Yes, Dolphin Coast Taxi Association owners. He called that meeting between them. He used the chairperson Wasantako Ubabzondi to call this guy, to call him into a meeting. While he's going to the meeting, in fact, the plan was to assassinate him.
This client of yours?
This client of mine.
Why?
He left early. They've been targeting him for a number of years. Mainly because, once again, there are these bullies who happen to be the friends of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who have captured him to a sense that he can do anything for them. He's been protecting. There are a lot of people who died. A lot of families today, we've got widows in KZN that are killed by these people in the taxi industry. These people, they enjoy the protection by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. He knows what they do. He knows their operations. Their names are mentioned all over in a lot of killings. What can he do? He's done nothing about those people. So, and this guy's been targeted for. One of the incidents happened.
But does he get directly paid? Do you have evidence of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi benefiting unduly so in any particular way?
Well, I think for now, as they've always said that they've got their own investigation, they're doing their investigation. So for now, I'll keep quiet. But I'm ready to go. I think one of the reasons that I will have requested to go and appear before the Madlanga Commission,
yes,
is for these reasons. That
you've written to the Madlanga
We've written
Commission.
to the Madlanga Commission. We've requested to appear before the Commission. Because we will see where it's going. I mean, you know, this is what it is. And unfortunately, South African, we are a country of events. We are taken by a moment of events, of lies for that matter, and we clarify what we're not supposed to be clarifying.
I mean, I want to take a step back, actually, because you've spoken about a lawsuit that you have against the KZN South African Police Service, in which Mkhwanazi is one of the respondents. What is that in relation to? Because from maybe someone sitting at home, they could be saying, this guy's a liar. He's probably involved in criminal activities, and you're here to just disparage the name of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi because, you know, maybe you are also one of those that is doing exactly what you're saying Mkhwanazi is doing.
Okay. Let me say this to you. What happened is this. As I was still mentioning earlier on, to say, they took my firearm in 2023 November. Immediately after that, they came to my offices. It was 13 firearms they took. They came to my offices. They did an audit of firearms, everything. We were all compliant.
As a private security company.
As a private security, yeah. There is the regular Firearm Control Act that controls us as to how we must be able to, what guide us on how the compliant means and how we must remain compliant with the laws of, which is the law that regulates all of us. They came to my office, they did the audit, but before that, there were 3 audits happened to my businesses, or my business premises in Durban, that took place consecutively within the month of September, October, before that arrest. Now, what would have happened is that after they found that we are compliant, then the instruction was given, unlawful instruction was given to seize all our firearms.
Instruction given by?
By Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
To who?
To his generals, including the people responsible for firearms.
Okay.
To take all our firearms. Unlawful instruction. Then we wrote a letter to him, National Commissioner, the former Minister Pegicele, who always ignored our correspondence. And we told them that we are aware what you are doing is unlawful. We are not going to cooperate with the unlawful act that you are doing of wanting to seize our firearms, because we are aware that you are working with private security. Well, we didn't say that, but we said we are aware that we are targeted because of our competitors. So that has always been in our letters.
And these competitors include this notorious family that you're speaking about. It's a notorious KZN taxi owners.
Of course, they are included in this.
So, but does he benefit?
Well, of course, maybe closed doors, behind the closed doors.
So you don't have any evidence.
I wouldn't want to talk about that at the moment.
Why wouldn't you want? You're making disparaging allegations against him. So there would have to be a direct correlation or a direct way in which he benefits, either through maybe someone paying for his upkeeping, physical money, or in other ways that maybe PRECA would actually outline.
I'll say this to you, that he does it. It is what he does.
And to benefit what exactly? What does he stand to gain?
He knows how he maintains his relationship. So, therefore, I wouldn't necessarily say that what he benefits. He knows what he benefits from.
Where do you get this information from? If you don't say you've got any tangible evidence, he knows how he benefits.
Well, remember I spoke about the things that are happening. I didn't speak about exchanges of monies. I don't speak about exchanges of his benefits. I'm telling what is happening. Which is well known, by the way. It's well known that if you were to go and do your research, you'll find out what I'm saying is the truth. So I didn't say that he received money, and I wouldn't say that he received money, but he knows what he benefits out of this whole relationship that he has with these people.
Okay, I mean, I can hear all of that, but what do you want to see happening?
What I want to do is that I think the president have done well by establishing Madlanga Commission. But my biggest concern is that there is a lack of investigation resources. We need a proper investigations about all these things. I must say to you that a lot of police in KZN are crying. A lot of police officers are crying on how they are being handled and how they are being treated. A lot of communities, a lot of people in KZN, there are a lot of families that are crying on how their family members have been killed in the hands of the police. How the police have now become, particularly PKTT and NIU, they've now become, they are hitmen in a way, because they are contracted to kill people.